They said he was the best.
Tomlin's better at more things. Mike Tomlin, day in and day out, do his thing as a head coach. Tomlin, he one of the best of them.
He even called out legends.
Spending more time with those coaches and those players?
You know, over the course of 10 years that I've been here, it just depends on when you ask me. I go where I'm needed, to be honest with you. I've moved around in all of the three phases now as I look back at the last 10 years, but that's the job. It's our job to get these guys ready to go. I have the latitude and ability based on position to work in all areas, and I'm willing to and do.
What do you think the most important thing you've learned in the last 10 years is, in the whole broad spectrum of everything?
You guys know I'm not real reflective. I don't have the answer to that. You know, I'm just trying to do what we need to do today, and in terms of getting us prepared to go into this stadium to play the Browns.
But now, the impossible happened. After 19 winning seasons in Pittsburgh, hell just froze over, and the Allegheny River has turned to ice.
Back here at home to the latest NFL team throwing up a now hiring sign. Longtime Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin announcing he is stepping down following the team's wild card loss to the Texans last night.
Mike Tomlin is out. For 50 years, half a century, the Steelers were the bedrock of the NFL, the adults in the room, while the Browns were cycling through 12 coaches and 41 QBs. The Raiders were suing their own shadows. The Steelers were a statue of stability. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Just 3 names in 5 decades to hold the title of head coach. It was the greatest anomaly in American sports history. But in early January, that statue crumbled. The Rooney Way is officially dead. Now the Yinzers in the Strip District can cry into their Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Mike Tomlin didn't fail, and this is the wake-up call you needed for the first time in 10 years. So, buckle up. It's about to get toxic in the Steel City. Let's head back to the beginning, the genesis of the cult. Before the Steelers were the Steelers, they were the laughingstock of the league. Then came the Emperor, Chuck Noll. He didn't just build a team, he built a religion.
In 1969, the 37-year-old rookie head coach.
He would tell you that my job is to teach you how to play this game correctly.
4 rings, a defense that assaulted you and the idea that if you wear black and gold, you're tougher, smarter, and just better than anyone else. For 23 seasons, he was the bedrock of Pittsburgh, often more important than the mayor. But then came the Chin, Bill Cowher.
Whether it's his intensity, his physical brand of football, his chin, or his incredible record when his team has a 10-point lead. Is the amount of talent at the linebacker position. Incredible how many quality linebackers played for Bill Cowher.
The man looked like he ate linebackers for breakfast, but he kept the train moving. Stability, patience, loyalty. The Steelers didn't fire coaches, they told us. We aren't the Jets, we aren't the Commanders, we have class.
Mike Tomlin is first and foremost a good person, and that is the first test that you have to pass, and Mike certainly passed that test with flying colors. I think in addition to that, Mike's core values are a good match for our organization. Mike wants to play the kind of football that has been the kind of football that the Pittsburgh Steelers have played, and he will bring that approach, I think, to our team, and I think he'll play the kind of football that Steeler fans have come to appreciate through the years.
And then in 2007 came the cool uncle, the man with the swag and the quote machine. Mike Tomlin was about to follow in the giant boots of the 2 men who came before. He walked in, inherited the Dodge Challenger, and along with Big Ben, they drove it to the title immediately.
Dockett chases him, throws on the run, caught. He extends the play again. It's Santonio Holmes, makes the catch, 27. Holmes!
It felt seamless, almost scripted. The Steelers had cracked the code to immortality. While the rest of the NFL panicked after 2 bad games, the Rooneys sat in their ivory tower smoking cigars, looking down at the peasants. Let's face it, you loved it. And even if you aren't a Steelers fan, you secretly wished it was you. But in a sport built on impatience, Steelers chose stability. And guess what? It worked. You told yourself about each night before bed that just being a Steeler meant you were always contending, and a logo on the helmet granted magical powers of relevance. But here's the problem with history. It doesn't win you football games in 2026. It just makes you seem like that failed college dropout who sleeps in his mom's basement and talks about his high school success. Nobody cares. So while stability was fantasy, the rest of the league woke up. From the outside, it began looking more like paralysis. The standard became a shield to hide behind, and Mike Tomlin, he was the master of holding that shield up while the house burned down behind him.
David's gonna get in more. He's at that 25-yard line. Stays on his feet. 20. There he goes. 15. And he got leads for the touchdown. For the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But let's face it, at least they made the playoffs. When's the last time you saw the Raiders or Jets playing football in January? So, did Mike Tomlin live up to the standard? Let's get into Mike himself for a sec. He's a Hall of Famer. Put him in Canton already. We know this. But, and this is a but the size of Kim K in her prime, we have to look at the actual resume of the last decade without those cozy cigars and rose-colored lenses. That never had a losing season streak Steelers fans wear like a badge of honor or parade around like it's the Lombardi Trophy? What about the 8-8? Not just once, but 3 times. Why doesn't that stat make it on the banner? In all honesty, that's average. That's like a draw. It's like kissing your sister. So, when did average become the standard? Let me tell you something about standards. Bill Belichick won 6 rings in 24 seasons. Then, he went 8-9 when Brady left, and 4-13 in 2023. Robert Kraft fired him because average isn't good enough in Boston. Tomlin gave you 1 Super Bowl in 19 seasons. Then he suddenly forgot how to win in the playoffs. The defensive collapses. You even lost 6 consecutive games to the Browns from 2015 to 2017.
For Koyak, who had a touchdown last week.
You let Blake Bortles, does anyone even remember him, drop 45 points on you? And my God, don't get me started on the offense. For 3 years, it was more fun watching paint dry in the rain, if the paint was also vomiting. Matt Canada just refused to adapt to the modern game. Just run the ball, he said. Yeah, run it into a brick wall if you must. But here's the question that hurts. Is being competitive, is being average the same as being great? I know Mike kept you competitive. He kept the stadium full until week 18, but he never made you feared. He never even looked like creating a dynasty. Hell, I can't even remember him even saying the word. They feared TJ, sure, but the team? It was like a soft pillow to come and relax. We knew they'd never beat Burrow, Mahomes, or Allen in a shootout. You were a treadmill, running hard, sweating buckets, and going nowhere. Tomlin didn't just lose games, but he stopped winning the ones that mattered. You all just kept on chanting his name. You loved his quotes, his balls for calling out the media. But you were in an abusive relationship, staying in the safe space instead of winning championships. So why did you choose to end it? I have my own theories.
Evades 1, can't evade 2, and Drake.
Why pull the trigger after 19 years? Why not stick with Mike? At least you'd never lose. Because the delusion finally broke. 19 years of stability didn't end with a bang. It ended with a whimper. Now the Steelers are realizing that they're the most expensive mediocrity in the NFL. Look at this roster. TJ, Cam Hayward, DK, and Alex Highsmith. It's 40 mil here, 30 mil there. You're spending the GDP of a small country on that team. And what did you get? First round exits. I even feel for TJ. You wasted his prime. Let that sink in. You wasted the prime of a generational talent, a guy who breaks sack records for breakfast, and on the offense, you give him a washed-up Rodgers, an old Ben, or Trubisky. Do you like the old? Are you in a retirement home? Big Ben stayed 3 years too long, and Aaron didn't change anything. You had your hands on Russell, though, but when he tried to innovate, you chose the side of Mike Tomlin. As for the rest of the quarterback room, it was like duct taping a leaking dam. The Steelers didn't fail by any stretch of the imagination, but they stalled. And in the NFL, if you aren't moving forward, you're dying. Mike Tomlin leaving isn't a betrayal, it's a euthanasia. It's the front office admitting, we have no idea what the we're doing. I don't even want to hear you say the locker room is lost. It isn't. They're just bored. The same message each week. No accountability, and knowing you still get paid when a washout QB drops 40 on you. So now we've reached the fork in the road. What now? The king is dead. The throne is empty. You're at a crossroads, and frankly, both options are scary. But you're forced to choose. Path number 1 is the illusion of contentment. It is the panic button option. Do you continue? Maybe dump Rodgers for a younger QB and just let him walk away to his ayahuasca farm. I see Mac Jones looking bored in San Francisco, and you give him a few expensive weapons. At least he saved the Niners ship when Purdy was out. He might not win the Super Bowl, but your next coach can keep his streak and never lose a season. Or do you choose the painful rebuild? Ugh, you're gonna hate this. Maybe you trade TJ while he still has value. You eat the dead cap value and go 4-13. Maybe you draft the next Drake May, look like the Panthers for a season, but clear the books. You reset the culture, stop trying to sustain a delusional dynasty, and try to build a new one. Remember how you became great in the 70s? By sucking up the 60s, building through the draft, and using that word you love so much, patience. But again, you modern Steelers fans are spoiled. You've never tasted a true rebuild. You haven't had a top 5 pick. Now it's time you eat some of that lovely, humble pie. Let me wrap this up by saying, this isn't about Mike Tomlin. It's about you. Forget about Mike. Mike will be fine. He'll be on TV next week or coaching the Raiders by Sunday. You need to figure out what the soul of your franchise is. You've been claiming to be different for 50 plus years. Said value the process of results. People over profits, and stability over panic. But the NFL has changed. You got left behind. You've lost the coach, ripped off the Band-Aid. So, now you need to decide if you want to protect the myth of the Steelers or endure the pain to redefine it. Do you hire a retread coach to keep the floor high? Or do you hire a young offensive genius from the Shanahan tree, burn the playbook, and start over? Whatever you choose, my lovely Yinzers, the stability is gone. The safety net is cut. Welcome to the real NFL, the chaos we all live in. You've been crying for change, and now you have it. But can you handle the darkness that comes with it? So, Steelers Nation, attack me in the comments. Let that rage out. Was the firing or alleged stepping down of Mike Tomlin the biggest mistake, or was it 5 years overdue? And if trade TJ or Rodgers retires, are you burning the jersey and still buying the season tickets? Let me know in the comments and enjoy this new era. I'll catch you in the next one.